Hi YouTube, it's your boy Grassy TV and welcome to another Here's Each 2 video. Sub-skill trees are a new feature coming in Season 5 and are designed to provide a more tailored experience, letting players focus on specific playstyles and strategies that better suit their preferences. Each tree will offer a mix of passive and active abilities, allowing for a wide range of build options, enhancing both character customization and gameplay depth. To access this new feature, simply click the plus sign at the top right of the skill you're looking to spec into. A new window will pop up that looks just like this. Here's how this works. You always start at the bottom, then lines connect to smaller travel nodes that grant stacking buffs. At the end, every skill has 4 larger nodes that are very build defining, known as augments. You cannot have more than 1 augment per skill, but you can spec as many skills as you have allocated. For today's video, we're going to be reviewing all of the skill sub-skill trees for the Shield Lancer class, going through every node and demonstrating each augment. As always, I will have timestamps available so you can easily navigate to your favorite skills. Now before we get started, this video is not intended to simulate DPS or serve as an indicator of which skills will be the best for Season 5. The goal here is simply to generate early conversations regarding sub-skill functionality, improvements, and diversity to ensure that every skill in Season 5 brings something fresh and exciting to the game. Use the comments to share your thoughts or feel free to share a build that you've theory crafted. I'm streaming Season 5 beta on Twitch at twitch.tv/Graxy_TV, and I would be happy to check out any of these new build ideas that you guys have. Let's get going. The first skill is Glorious Strike. Starting with the travel nodes, we have increased damage dealt, increases attack rating, increased area of effect, chance to inflict bleeding, increased critical strike damage, recover a portion of your maximum life when killing monsters, gain a stack of heroic onslaught after killing monsters, increasing your damage and armor, increased damage dealt to bleeding targets, increased attack speed, and increases Glorious Strike's attack range when using pole arms. The first augment is Punisher. Chance on attack to gain increased area of effect radius. This impales targets on hit, dealing damage over time. Second is Unstoppable Piker. Strike with a long, narrow hitbox, pushing monsters towards the tip on hit. Monsters hit by the tip will take increased damage. Third is Javelin Harbinger. Increase the range of Glorious Strike significantly. Chance on attack to throw a piercing javelin that inflicts bleeding on hit. And fourth, Valiant Combo. Glorious Strike performs a short burst of 3 attacks. The last strike sends a slashing wave, knocking monsters back and dealing increased damage. The second skill is Battle Charge. Starting with the travel nodes, we have increased damage dealt, increased range, increases the damage dealt by battle charge according to your armor, chance to knock monsters up, dealing increased damage reduction for a short duration, increases the speed of battle charge, chance to stun targets, throw lances around you as you charge, increased damage dealt to stun targets, and taunt nearby monsters at the end of your charge. The first augment is Bulldozer. Pull monsters in front of you on hit while charging, impaling them when hitting terrain. Second is Hyper Assault. Charge multiple times at high speed in a target area, dealing area of effect damage before falling from the sky, smashing the ground, knocking monsters up with increased damage. Third is Ground Slammer. As you charge through monsters, leave a ground quaking for a small duration, inflicting elemental break. And fourth, Call of the Fallen Heroes. Call upon fallen heroes to charge by your side, dealing increased damage in a larger radius. The third skill is Shield Slam. Starting with the travel nodes, we have increased damage dealt, increased attack rating, chance to stun enemies, increased damage dealt to stunned enemies, deal increased damage based on the block rating of your shield, increased area of effect, chance on attack to increase the damage and area of effect radius of Shield Slam, chance to increase your damage return on hit, gain a stack of Vanguard on hit, increasing your damage reduction for a short duration, and chance to summon an orbiting shield on hit for a short duration. The first augment is Groundquake Bulwark. Smash your shield into the ground, unleashing an earthquake, pulling monsters to you on hit. Earthquake damage and area of effect radius is increased based on your defense. Shield Slam now has a cooldown. The second skill is Knights Templar. Throw your shield with force, causing it to bounce from the ground and terrain. Third is Thorned Aegis. Chance to gain a stack of Thorned Aegis on hit. Throw shields at monsters when taking damage while Thorned Aegis is active. And fourth is Captain Terethiel. Throw your shield with increased size and damage. The shield returns to you after a short duration, dealing additional damage. Shield Slam now has a cooldown. The fourth skill is Honed Defenses. Starting with the travel nodes, we have increased damage dealt, chance to increase the amount of stacks gained when struck, increase the area of effect radius, increase damage return per stack, increases the damage dealt based on your defense, increases the duration, increases the maximum amount of stacks for Honed Defenses, chance to inflict armor break when struck, chance to unleash a ground slam on the attacker when struck, dealing additional damage based on the Honed Defenses stacks, and gain increased damage return per stack of Honed Defenses, decreasing its damage dealt. The first augment is Sky Bulwark. Giant bulwarks fall down from the sky on hit, dealing increased area of effect damage, inflicting elemental break. For all of the Honed Defenses examples, I am going to use Shield Wall just to proc it on the target dummies, as Shield Wall does act as if you have been hit, so that increases your Honed Defenses stacks. Second is Howling Surge. Pull monsters towards you with increased damage and stunning them when reaching maximum stacks of Honed Defenses. Well, unfortunately, I'm just killing the monsters instead, but it does pull them towards you. Third is Royal Defense. Increase the maximum stacks. At maximum stacks, Honed Defense calls forth a legion of shield lancers fighting on your side and fighting for a short duration. And fourth, Unstoppable Goliath. Honed Defenses no longer causes a ground slam at maximum stacks. Instead, it increases your maximum life, damage return, and replenish life for each stack. The fifth skill is Crushing Lance. Starting with the travel nodes, we have increased damage dealt, increases the area of effect radius, increased attack rating. Every third attack with Crushing Lance is empowered, increasing area of effect radius and damage, increases damage dealt to stun targets, chance to unleash an additional Crushing Lance from the target to a nearby monster on hit, increased attack speed, increases critical strike damage, chance to inflict armor break, and chance on cast to empower Crushing Lance, causing it to an echo additional time, inflicting burning on hit. The first augment is Annihilating Salvo. Unleash a shockwave of crushing lances towards the target location. Second is Magnetized Glaive. The lance remains on the ground for a short duration, frequently pulsating and pulling monsters towards it on hit. Third is Seismic Proliferation. Crushing lance hits the ground with force, unleashing shockwaves into all directions. And fourth, Marked for Javelin Strike. Throw piercing javelins at monsters hit by Crushing Lance for a portion of the damage. The sixth skill is Lance Thrust. Starting with the travel nodes, we have increased damage dealt, increased range, increased stun duration and damage when colliding with Commending Banner, chance to inflict bleeding on hit, knock back monsters and dealing increased damage, chance to gain a stack of swift strikes on hit, increasing your attack speed and attack rating, increases critical strike damage when using pole arms, increased damage dealt to bleeding targets. Every third attack with Lance Thrust is empowering, increasing your range and damage, slowing monsters on hit. Collision with Commending Banner causes it to explode and deal area of effect damage. The first augment is Head Collector. Lance Thrust pulls monsters towards you and stuns them on hit. Second is Legion Exterminator. Unleash a whirl attack with increased area of effect radius. Lance Thrust no longer collides with Commending Banner. Third is Trust in the Thrust. Unleash a circle of lances, thrusting the first target on hit from all directions. And fourth, Commend to Onslaught. Unleash additional lance thrusts towards nearby monsters from Commending Banner on impact. The seventh skill is Shield Wall. Starting with the travel nodes, we have increased damage dealt, increased the durability and duration, increases the amount of shields in the wall, chance to unleash spikes dealing damage towards the attacker when blocking projectiles, increase the orbiting radius of Shield Wall, increase its size, chance to critically hit dealing increased critical strike damage with Shield Wall, chance to inflict poison when struck, chance to inflict arcane break on hit, and increased damage dealt to poison targets. The first augment is Gravitational Aegis. Shield Wall orbits in an orbit around you with increased projectile speed and increased amounts of shields. Second is Porcupine Carapace. Chance to inflict bleeding on hit with increased bleeding frequency. Third is Shield Vortex. Unleash a tornado of shields towards the target location, pulling monsters towards it. And fourth is Insatiable Bulwark. Blocking projectiles and attacks buffs the shields, increasing their damage and size. The eighth and final skill is Counter. Starting with the travel nodes, we have increased damage dealt, chance to critically hit, dealing increased critical strike damage, chance to throw additional lances when struck, chance to inflict bleeding. Counter also reflects non-physical projectiles and attacks, dealing a portion of the damage, increases duration, chance to replenish a portion of your maximum life on hit, chance to stun monsters on hit, increased damage dealt to stun targets, and chance to throw multiple piercing lances around you when struck. The first augment is Insatiable Challenger. Casting Counter taunts all nearby monsters, inflicting armor break. Second is Volley Buildup. During this duration, Counter stores all of the damage taken. When expiring, you throw javelins at nearby monsters, unleashing the stored damage taken. Third is Give No Quarter. Counter no longer has a duration, but instead frequently drains your life and mana. Counter can be activated and deactivated and no longer has a cooldown. So this might be good with the proc chance. And fourth, Versus the World. Counter no longer throws lances at monsters, but gives you a chance to block incoming damage, reflecting it back to the attacker with intense power. And that's going to wrap up today's video, showcasing all the sub-skill trees for the Shield Lancer class. What was your favorite augment? Let me know in the comments. If you want to stay up to date with Season 5 beta, be sure to subscribe to this channel to always know when I post a new video. Come check me out live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Graxy_TV. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave it a like, as it does help me a ton. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.